Hey, welcome back, Warriors. Anthony Chansmuth here from Simple Creative Marketing. And today we're going to have a little bit of fun. And let me just share something on my screen here. We're going to look at, I got a lot of things opening. Okay. So I want to share my screen. Just give me a moment. And boom. All right, here we are. Okay, so today's talk is going to be, or this particular Facebook Live, if you're in and watching live, give me a high five, give me a like, say hello in the comments, and let me know that you're around so we can have some conversation going on, because I do want this to be interactive, so then you can get the most value out of this session as possible. Okay, so we are, let's go to present. Okay. The topic is how to turn one video into 18 pieces of content, how to repurpose video content to work smarter, save time, and grow your audience. So if you are wanting to work smarter, save time, and grow your audience, then you're in the right place, okay? And if you're not, you're already using video content, then go look at a sneak peek video I just posted literally about 10 minutes ago, and you'll see why I recommend getting onto video. So we're not going to cover that here, but I'm just going to run through the system that I'm using for video content. And before I do that, let's just ask you to just consider, and if you're watching live, type this in the comments, but let me know, what's your biggest challenge with creating content for social media? Now, I've got a second screen over here, so I'm going to just do this. So if I'm looking over there, it's not that I'm ignoring you, I'm just juggling two machines at the same time, and also a phone, because that's what you do when you do live stream. But yeah, let me know, what's your biggest challenge with creating content for social media? Would love to hear from you. What's going on for you and your business? Okay, so here's what we're going to cover. Number one, I'm going to talk about the common challenges with social media marketing. And number two, I'm going to talk about how to turn one video into 18 pieces of content, and the strategy and the plan, or the roadmap on how that works. And then I'll reveal to you the magic tool that can do this for you, and give you a live demo and where you can get a free trial of the software as well. Okay, so let's go. Common challenges. Number one, there are different social media platforms out there. There's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. There's a whole bunch of them, and they don't all use the same format. So if you're trying to put video up on these formats, you do need to customize the content for each different platform, right? Because I like to use this analogy. It's like if you were dressed up as a character from Avatar, right? If you don't know Avatar, look it up. And then you went to a party, but the party was for Trekkies, right? And so you can imagine you've come to the party in the wrong costume. And what do you think the people around you, how are they going to respond? Not great, right? So this is what happens when you put the wrong format of content on the wrong platform. All right, so you're going to make sure that you're aware of those differences. Okay, a second common challenge is business owners who don't have the know-how or desire to edit videos for each platform. I know this one was a big one for me, and it stopped me for a long time, because I'm like, I'm not going to do videos. It's going to take me forever just to edit each video. I got to make it square for Instagram, then I got to make it, wide for LinkedIn, square for Facebook, these sort of things. Then I've got to add subtitles, and I've got to do all these other things, because there is a statistic out there that says, can't remember the actual number, but more than 70% of people, or something ridiculous, watch videos on a feed when they're scrolling without the sound on. So you want to make sure that you have subtitles, displaying for your video content. Okay, and so the result of not wanting to do all this editing, is that you don't end up leveraging video to grow your business at all. Okay, and so you end up doing just other types of content, and that's a real shame, because the studies have shown that, for all the major social media platforms, we're talking LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and YouTube, of course, but they all have the best. They're really pushing video right now, and you're going to get the best organic reach and the best user experience. The viewer experience, is a lot better with video. Okay, and that just makes sense, right? Because video, you can have text, you can have video, you can have audio, visual, all these different elements. So it really caters to different types of learning. Yeah, and then the final, not the final, but third common challenge I've noted here is that most small businesses don't have a system for producing that content, and so that really creates inconsistent content marketing, and the end result being that you don't get the visibility, the reach, and the credibility that you want. Okay, and what does that mean? Well, that means you don't get the leads and the sales that you want. Okay, because you're not out there enough. People are not seeing you. They're not understanding, that they don't see that you have stories, great case studies to share, or you're not really showing and demonstrating your thought leadership, right? Because they just, for whatever reason, algorithms, blame whatever you want to blame, but the fact of the matter is that you're not showing up, okay? And that's a problem. So they're the common challenges. Now, let me just walk you through the master system, the master plan, okay? So again, if you're watching this live, just drop a hello in the comments and let me know you're there. Give me a thumbs up. I'd love to know from you, like, what's the biggest challenge you're experiencing with particularly video content or just creating content for social media. All right, and this is the system here right now. We're talking about what I'm doing to take one video or one Facebook Live. All right, so you can see we start off with Facebook Live first, and then we then split that out into 18 different pieces of content. And this is how it works, right? So I film a Facebook Live just like what I'm doing right now. I then send that or put that video once it's created and it's done. I take that video and I embed it on an article or a blog post on WordPress, which is my website, right? So simplecreativemarketing.com/blog. You can go and see examples of this in practice. Okay, we've created one piece of content. Now the second piece of content is the video embedded on an article or on a piece on a WordPress site. The third piece of content is a YouTube video. Okay, so we can take the Facebook video. Okay, we can then put that onto YouTube, and that becomes a piece of content there. And YouTube is a great place to be, of course, because it's the second largest search engine on the planet. And if you're doing, really practical, insightful content, then people, might do the how-to searches. And if you've got, how to do X, like this is a real live example, is how to create 18 pieces of content from one video, right? If that video then went onto YouTube, people were searching for, how to repurpose content. If I do my optimization of that right, then that's people going to find that. Okay. And if you want some more tips on optimizing content for YouTube specifically, go check out my last Facebook Live that I did with Rob Balastabas from TubeBuddy. And that's he shares a lot of really cool tips and a cool tool in there as well. Okay. So that's number 3 piece of content. Now we can then take our Facebook Live video and split it up into what we call snippets, right? Short 1 to 3 minute mini videos, if you want to call it that. And then we put that up and we schedule that out over 5 days, right? So in that way we have literally 5 pieces of content coming from that Facebook Live. And these are just the highlights, right? We want to put these out and then we then put out one piece of a snippet per day over 5 days. Let's say Monday to Friday, because that's business days, right? And then as we're putting this out, we have a link inside it, a link that directs people to come back to the original piece of content, or even back to your website, where they can view the entire interview or the entire Facebook Live. Okay, so that's 8 pieces of content already. All right, so how about that? All right, so that's LinkedIn. Now we can go to Twitter. Okay, so same deal. We can do 5 snippets, and we can then create, one snippet per day, schedule that over 5 days, and we're up to 13 pieces of content. We're on Twitter, and the final step to get to our 18, right, is we take the Facebook Live video, we send it to Dropbox. Okay, and we're going to use this cool tool that I'm going to show you right in a moment. Hi View, thanks for the very good info message, loving it. Let me know what type of business you've got as well. What are you doing in terms of content that you're creating? And so we send take the Facebook Live, we send the video to Dropbox, right? And then we're using this tool to split it up into 5 individual snippets, right? So 5 videos or MPG files or whatever it is. And then we can then take those 5 snippets and we can schedule that for IGTV. And that's how we get onto Instagram, all right? So now we've got 5 snippets from that original Facebook Live, and we send that to Dropbox. The reason why we're doing this is because we don't have a direct, we're not able to directly send it from Facebook Live to Instagram or to IGTV and do it that way. We have to send it to storage place first. So in this case, in my case, I'm using Dropbox. You can use Google Drive. And then in there, you'll have 5, the tool that I'm about to show you will split it up into 5 segments. And then you can just download those and schedule those, 1 per day over a week. And that's your 5 pieces of IGTV content. Okay. And so now we have literally 18 pieces of content created from that Facebook Live. All right. So I hope this is exciting for you guys, and got you thinking about how now I've got Facebook Live here as the starting point. Now you don't need to do Facebook Live, right? This is just the way that I like to do it, because I do a weekly interview show where I bring on a guest expert and I'm interviewing them about different marketing strategies, different entrepreneurship stories and things like this to help empower B2B business owners, specifically professional services businesses, to grow their brand, to grow their reach. We call it Authentic Influence Live, and that's what it's all about. So I like to take that Facebook Live that I'm doing anyway, and then I'm now repurposing that content to, again, goes to WordPress, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, and IGTV. What do you think about that? Okay. So I did promise you a demo of how this works. So I'm going to jump into the tool and you're going to see some magic. So let me go to the right screen. So, okay. Now I hope you can actually, I'll need to flick the screen over and make sure you're actually seeing the right screen. So let's go to this one, share. Okay, so here we go. So this is the tool. It's called Repurpose.io. And like I said, it's the magic system tool. And you can actually grab a free file of this, and I'll share the link to you, simplecorrectmarketing.com/repurpose tool. All right. On the screen if you're watching the Facebook Live. Okay, so you can go and definitely go and check that out. Let me come back to I'm jumping around, many screens going on. So here we go. This is what it looks like. All right, so what you can do is we'll start off with the connections. So you can have different inputs, right? So an input is basically just what it means. It's you're pulling the content from somewhere, so it's coming in from a video. You can do it from an audio podcast as well. If you have audio, that serves as an input. You can come from a storage device, cloud storage like Google Drive or Dropbox. All right, so these are different inputs. You could even send video in from Zoom. Okay, so if you're doing a lot of Zoom webinars and things like that, this is another cool feature that's there. And then you have different outputs. Okay, so you can see Facebook, you can go to Google Drive, SoundCloud if you're doing audio, Dropbox, you can go to YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. So the major platforms I talked about. You notice that Instagram is not on there, and the reason that I mentioned earlier was you actually need to send it to Dropbox first, and then from there you can then get the video into IGTV, and I'll walk you through that, a quick demo on how to do that. Okay, so we're in here. Essentially, you set up your connections, right? So it's really easy. If I wanted to set up an input, say Facebook, right? So I can go add connection. Whoa, okay, that's not good. All right, let's do something. Let's delete this one for now. Okay, so then we can go Facebook, add connection. Oh, well, okay, I won't do the connection piece, but essentially you click on add connection, you choose what your input is, right? And then it will then basically you give it the authority to go and connect to your Facebook account or your Facebook account, your LinkedIn profile, Twitter, whatever tool, that the social media channel you want to use. You give permission for Repurpose to connect to it, and then it's there and you can utilize it. All right. So once we have you've connected your accounts, that's step one. Then we go to the workflows. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all the workflows, but I will show you. I'll create one as a demo, and then one or two. All right, so let's do one where we're going to create a new workflow. So let's say I want to go from Facebook Live, right? So Facebook Live. To LinkedIn. Okay, so that's probably a common one. I would then click next. I'm going to choose my input, right? So then I go, okay, I want Facebook Live videos. And you notice you can just choose Facebook videos as well. If you're not doing Facebook Live, what you can do is you can upload videos that you have pre-recorded, upload them to your Facebook page, and then you can just grab those. And so that's when you're doing videos that are not Facebook Live videos. Okay, so in this situation, I'm doing a Facebook Live. So I go Facebook Live. I'm going to choose Facebook, and you can import videos from your personal profile, your Facebook group, or your Facebook page. Okay, so really depending on you where you want to get it from. I run all my Facebook Live videos on my Facebook page. You can choose what page you want. So here we go. We click next, and then what you want to do is you want to upload the video. Okay. And then you can choose full video or snippets, right? So remember, what we want to do is when we're talking about, let me just stop the screen for a second. I'm going to share, entire screen. Okay, so excuse that weirdo thing you just saw. But remember, what we want to do here is we want to take Facebook Live and we want to split it into 5 different snippets that we spread out over a week, right? Or weekdays, okay? And so what we're going to do inside of Repurpose is then choose snippets, all right? Now, if you're sending it to YouTube, you can send it as a full video. You don't need it to be a snippet. Okay, but when we're putting it out to social media like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, okay, we want it to be snippets, and I'll show you why. Okay, so we've done that. We click on next. We're going to choose now an output. All right, so I want to send it to LinkedIn. Okay, now the way it's constructed presently, you can only send it to a company page. You can't send it to a LinkedIn profile, and this is due to a limitation that LinkedIn has set. LinkedIn doesn't want third-party tools essentially posting content onto personal profiles, right? So particularly video, right? So apparently this may change soon, but I don't know. But there is a workaround that the creator of this tool has done, and I'm going to show you how it works. All right, so you choose a LinkedIn page. You can then select. So I want to go to SCM. Okay, so then we can go simple creative marketing. That's the page. okay, we can create the repurpose workflow. Now that's going to take a moment, and so I will just show you my LinkedIn while we're doing this. Now, of course, everything slows down while you're live streaming, which is not super fun, but that's the way it goes. Okay, so we can go simple creative marketing. Okay, and this is the page. Now, this is what you'll see. I'm going to show you an example. Sometimes you just need to let it wait. But this is an example here on the screen of what it looks like when it gets sent from Repurpose to your company page. So you can see it's got a heading. So it's got a title for the video, sort of built into the video itself. I'm going to stop it from playing the audio. It's got a so let's just turn off the sound. So you can see there is there's already subtitles on the video as well. So anyone watching this as they're scrolling can see the subtitles, and it's big and bold so they can read it, and they can obviously see the video. Okay, so and what you're able to do is also add some text description. You can add links to it and your hashtags. Okay, so this is really cool. Now this is showing up on my company page, and what happens is if you go to the personal profile, you can set it so that if I go to post, you can set it so that Repurpose will then take that video that's on your company page and share it onto your personal profile. So it automatically then shared it to here, right? So you can see, here's another one, right? That I was testing. Okay, so it basically takes the video, then it automatically shares it to your personal profile. So people who are on your personal profile can view that content, right? If they click play, it actually takes them to the company page where they can view the entire video, all right, or the snippet. Okay, and what you'll notice here is I've also included a link to watch the full episode. If I click on that, that takes people straight to, I've set it to go to my website, because I've also, remember I told you can take the video, your Facebook Live, and you can embed it onto your website. All right, like this. Okay, so onto the website. So the video is there. So now I'm driving traffic from social media to, I want people to go from there to my website. Now I'm getting people onto my site. Okay, and this is a really good way to do it. Now we've set up back to Repurpose. We can see that the workflow has been set up. STM, Facebook Live to LinkedIn. By default, it's set to manual. You can set this to auto, but for snippets, it's recommended that you set it as manual because you need to control a few things. So we're going to go to settings, right? So we can choose, here the video style. So we can let it know that the intention here is to send these snippets to LinkedIn, right? So we want the square formatting. Okay, so you can see if you want it to IGTV, IG stories, or Facebook stories, you can choose vertical video. So I want it square because I'm going to LinkedIn. You can play around with the colors to match your branding. You can add a text watermark. So I like just to add my, this is actually my Twitter handle. So you can add some text there. You can have your company name or whatever you want, right? You want to enable burn Facebook captions into the video. So as you can see in the example here, these captions are burned into the video, all right? So they're not using an additional subtitle file or something like that. They're actually, that text is in the video itself, yeah? So that's the setting that we're using, okay? And then you can have a default sub headline text if you want, like you can add, learn more at whatever website, things like that. You can even add an intro file, an outro file. If you have like a branded intro, 10 seconds where it's your logo or your face or some music or whatever, you can add that. You can add an outro file as well with the call to action on it. Now, for auto publish, you can choose which ones you want to publish. So you can tell it to only auto publish videos from a certain date. Okay, because you might already have, like I did, I had maybe 20 or 50 videos already published on Facebook that I didn't want to be going through this automation, right? So I just chose a date for my first Facebook Live 8 weeks ago. I chose that date and said I'm only going to publish things from that date forward. Okay, so I might even just say from there. All right, you can also tell Repurpose to ignore videos that contain specific hashtags, right? So if you go and put hashtags on your videos in Facebook, you can choose it to ignore certain hashtags, or you can choose it to import only videos with certain hashtags. So I'm going to put this, and the hashtag I want to import is Repurpose.io. Another one that I'm using is content marketing. And I also have authentic influence. Okay, so you want to add a call to action to description, you can do a before or after call to action, and you might have something like sign up for my newsletter. You might have whatever it is in your description. That's up to you. Now, with the default duration, how long do you want the snippets to be? Typically for LinkedIn, you can do anything from like 3 minutes up to about 5 or 6 minutes. Anything more than that, it's just going to be too long and people aren't going to sit around and watch it. So remember, the goal of these snippets is give people a sneak preview, like a teaser or a trailer, and then you want them to click through the link to come back to your website or to the Facebook Live, to your Facebook page to view the full thing, right? So, or your YouTube channel if you're hosting your videos on YouTube. Okay, so 180 auto snippet, auto sync. That's fine. We can auto create and then share. Here's where we let it know that we want it to share the video to your personal feed. All right, so we can click on, right? And I'm going to save that. Now, one important thing that we want to do whilst we are saving this is we want to go to the video that has already been recorded. So you've done your Facebook Live. Okay, so you're in here. This is one I did literally half an hour ago. I'm going to edit this video. Okay, so I can edit the post. This is very important that you do this before, I would suggest you do it within the hour of the recording, if possible. But basically, the sooner you do it, the better. Okay, so this is where you're going to add some tweaks to the text here and do a couple of things to the Facebook video to prepare it for repurpose. Okay, if you don't do this step, then it's going to screw up the entire system. So you don't want to do that. Okay, so let's go. Fortunately, I prepared some text earlier. So here we go. I'm just going to copy this and paste it in there. All right, so let's go like that. Okay, in this video I share, and you notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Usually you want to have 5 things here. Why? Okay. What to do next? For example, watch the full video. Check out my training on how to turn one video into 18 pieces of content, and then you can put the link to that there like so. Okay, so something like this, probably not a good idea to have 2 call to actions, but that's fine. We're just doing this as a demo. Now this here where it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what you want to do is actually play back the video and identify 5 different things that you talk about in that video. Okay, so for most of my Facebook Lives, they're usually half an hour to an hour long. So within that, usually there's some really good tips and story arcs and things that we talk about with the guest. And so we can then sort of go, okay, well, at 0, this happens. At 0. Whoop. Now let's just check how long that video is. Okay, so it's a 4-minute video. I'm going to pause the sound on it. So we can say at 1 minute, do that. At 2 minutes. Now I'm just making these up. So these aren't the actual numbers. I'm just using this as a demo to you what's going on. But okay, all right. Okay, so you're putting in those timestamps. Now this is good because it tells the person who's watching the Facebook Live, if they're watching the replay, they can see, oh, well, this is what I can expect from this video. All right, it gives them a reason to click through and view the video, and then, you know, basically you're creating that. It's like an index, or if you're scrolling through TV at the channel and you're flicking to see what's coming next, right? So this really helps. The second thing that I've added here, you'll notice, are the hashtags. Okay, so you'll notice I put content marketing, hashtag authentic influence. The one I'm missing is repurpose. Now, these can be anything. These are just ones that I've decided on for my own brand and my own business. So that's all good, okay? Next thing I want to do is I'm just going to save. Let me just save this before I lose it. I'm just going to paste it back into the text file, okay? So now I can refresh this. Now, if you're hearing some weird, like, people cutting down trees sound outside, that's because they're literally cutting down trees or something across the road. I have no idea, but it's really annoying. So sorry about that. Okay, so Facebook is doing its thing. So I will take a look at some of the questions that are coming through here, and maybe I can answer some of those while this is loading. All right, so we've got a question. Oh, come on, let's wait. Okay, so Vu got a question here saying, how long does it take to learn Repurpose? I literally learnt, so the tool, once you sign up for the free trial, you can access their free training as well on how to use the tool. And it took me about an hour, so 30 minutes to sort of get the idea, and then 30 minutes playing around with it to get the entire system working. Okay, so about an hour of your time. And that's really, you know, that's, for me, it's saving me a lot more than that, trying to create individual videos for every piece of content that I do, to try and create smaller videos to put everywhere else, right? So this is a massive time saving. You invest 1 to 2 hours of your time to learn the tool and put it into practice. It's just going to be a massive time saver for you, as you can see. Okay, so another question here from Vu. So, okay, your friend's coming in later. Because my friend's coming in later. Is it okay if they watch this video? Is this video going to be available later? Yes, they can definitely watch the replay of this video. It's going to be sitting on my Facebook page. It's also going to go on my website, simplecreativemarketing.com/blog. So, you know, they can definitely view the replay. So they just come to my site and go to blog, and they can see a replay there as well. So what is going on with Facebook? Thank you for the questions, Min. Vu. Okay. Maybe there's too much running on my screen. So let me just close down LinkedIn. Oh my gosh, okay. So I am going to just reshare that. Give me a second. Again, let me just share with you. That's the link to the tool. simplecreativemarketing.com/repurpose tool. Right. I'll just put that into Facebook Live as well. So if it decides to load. Okay. So what I'll do is, I'm assuming that those changes have happened, but I don't know, and it's important that I see the changes. So just give me a second. Okay. So let me just do. No matter how fast your internet is, when you do live streams, they get much slower. Okay. All right, I've just shared that link to the free trial in the Facebook Live in the comments. You can go check that out. I will, let's go back to my page. Okay, sharing my screen again. Here we go. All right, let's look at the video. Okay, so we had, this is the one, right? So you can see the timestamps are there. The hashtags are there. That's all good. The one thing that's probably missing, and I need to check, is have subtitles been enabled on the video? So we're going to click on, again, edit post. This is on the Facebook page for that particular replay of the Facebook Live video. Okay, so you can modify the details. You can obviously change the thumbnail and find a better looking thumbnail. If you've got your own customized image that you want to put there, I do recommend you use that just to optimize it. But we don't necessarily need to do it right now. And so the one that I really care about is subtitles. Okay, so we want to go into here. You want to make sure that I've got a set so auto-generate captions for future uploads is already there. And every time I record a Facebook Live, Facebook will then automatically create the captions for me. So you can see it's generating the captions, right? And this is important if you want to have those subtitles displaying on the videos when you send them from Repurpose to to the other social media platforms, right? So if you want to send it to LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram, IGTV, then this is an important step. Okay, so then we go click on review and edit. And one thing is in here, really just want to take the time to go through, maybe 5 minutes or whatever it is for you, or if you have a VA, you can get your VA to do this. But you want to just go,
hey, what's up, warriors?
Okay, so you just go through and just fix up some of these subtitles, all right? Because this is using an AI tool or an AI engine to do the subtitles, the transcript. So you can go through and just modify these things. The one thing that I'm always looking for is spelling of names, right? So if you have names, your name or someone else's name, a guest, you want to make sure that that's correct, because that's going to come up on a subtitle. And for me, something that I see a lot is I have here, I say a lot, something that I'm working on fixing. So I want to delete that from the transcripts, right? And if you say and things like this, you don't really need that to be in a transcript. Okay? It doesn't help the person who's reading the transcript. Okay, so assuming that's all good, we can then just save that to draft. And then that's all ready to go. So we hit save. And sometimes it does this stupid thing where it gives me this, it's got an error. So I don't know what that is, but I'm going to just get out of here for now. Yep. And you might have to take a couple of times. This is a Facebook issue, but you might have to come back and edit a couple of times to make sure that the auto caption is on, and then you've got subtitles. Okay, so let me just check it quickly. So edit post. Yeah, it's super cool. All right, so let it run again. It's going to do its thing. And then what we wanted to do, okay, that's all good. So that's just preparing your Facebook Live or your Facebook video to then be ready to be utilized in Repurpose. Okay, so now, okay, let's try it again one more time and see if it works. If it doesn't work, we're just going to skip it. But I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'm not going to change any of the text. I'll just leave it. That's done. So it's got a transcript, which is what I'm looking for. Okay, so now that's good. We can hit save. Now we go back to Repurpose. Okay, now remember in this demo we're going to send that Facebook Live to LinkedIn. Okay, so we can go view videos, and now what it's going to do, it's going to pull all the videos on my Facebook Live, right? And I'm going to resync this because it looks like it's missing the test Facebook Live that I just did. But as you can see, it's already pulled in all the previous Facebook Lives, and you'll notice for each of those Facebook Lives or each one of those videos, there are at least 5 different snippets or segments, right? So, and you can see there are timestamps, right? 36 seconds, 5 minutes 25 for this one, 7 minutes and 7 seconds for this one. So that comes from this description, right? So maybe I can just find that video. This is what's happening at SCM. Okay, so let's go and look at videos. Okay, so here's that one that you can see in Repurpose, what's happening at SCM. If I click on that, okay, so you can see what I did was I went in here and I put timestamps on, just like I showed you just now, and then so 36, right? So 36 seconds, 5 minutes 25. Okay, so let's come back to here. 36 seconds, 5 minutes 25, 7 minute 07. So these were the timestamps that I defined, right? And you see what Repurpose has done it's taken those timestamps and it's then split the full video into these 2-minute or 3-minute snippets, right? Because we've told it to create 3-minute segments. Okay, so that's what it's done, all right? And then so this one I didn't do this one because this was a short 5-minute video, so I didn't really doesn't need to be 5 different snippets, right? It just depends on how long your videos are. But typically, like I said, I do like 30-minute segments. Okay, I'm just waiting for that to update. Come on! I feel like I'm a snail. Come on, man, make this happen. All right. Now let's go. I'm going to. So usually while this is happening, I'm like doing other things. So maybe you want to create some images, inside of Canva, or you might want to do whatever it is that you need to do. I'm going through a process, and then I work through. I don't sit here and wait for it to update like I do now. I usually just set it to run, and I go away, and then I come back, and it's ready to go. Okay, so it can take from like 5 minutes to 10 minutes usually for this to work. But the beautiful thing is once it's done, I don't really need to do anything else with the LinkedIn videos. Well, incorrect. I do need to come back and then I schedule each one of these videos and decide when I want those to be published on my LinkedIn company page and profile. Okay, so that's really the next step. And what's going on? All right, so I am going to let that thing do its thing because it seems to be dancing around. And then I will flick over back to here. Now, I mentioned with IGTV, what you want to do is it's going to not send it directly from Repurpose to Instagram, right? So what it does, you're going to send it instead. Let me just stop the screen here. I'm going to share. Yeah, okay. Right, so just again, so with IGTV, what you want it to do is it's going to go from Facebook Live. It will send it to Dropbox, and then it will automatically create those 5 segments. And then what you need to do is just download those videos. So let me go into my Dropbox and give you a look at that. Okay, so you can see here. And you can tell it like which folder you want to send it into and these sort of things. It can create folder for you. I've got them in Authentic Influence IG videos. And I've got them sorted by, these are upload dates. So, okay. So you can see here. No, let's just go. Oh, well, there you go. You can see them in how it looks like. It gives you basically, this is what it looks like when you put it onto Instagram, right? So it's created, a series of the 5 videos, right? And then all you need to do is download those to your hard drive. You would then go to create a studio. So the best way to upload to IGTV is to use Facebook's Creator Studio. And you do need to have your quick tip here, your Instagram account has to be a business account. This doesn't work with a personal profile, all right? Because you can't connect Creator Studio to a personal profile, right? So then all you need to do is go into choose Instagram. You can choose whichever account that you're going to use. For me, it's my Anthony C account. I can then create a new post, and I'm going to choose IGTV, right? So choose the specific profile that I wanted to go to file upload, okay? And then I'm going to grab okay, so this one, like I just did recently, right? What is content marketing? I can click open. I can fill in, what is content marketing. Then you can put in your text and whatever else, hashtags, things like that into here. Then the next thing you would do is you can either hit publish and send it straight to IGTV right now, or you can click on schedule, and then you can pick, you schedule date and time. So if you were to do, take that 5 snippets and then you would schedule 1 per day, for example, at the same time every day. And that way you would have all those videos go out to IGTV. And then if you click on share preview to feed, it automatically puts it onto your feed. So let's show you an example. If you go to my Instagram account. All right, so here's one I did earlier. Okay, so what is case study marketing? Right, it took, so this is a snippet, 2 minutes. All right, here it is. And then I put a link to send people to the actual, if they want to watch the full thing, they can go to the website and watch it there. See, so here it is. And the video will slowly appear. Eventually, it should pop up under the logo. Okay, there it is, right? So that's how you get it on IGTV. And then you can actually view all your videos inside of IGTV. So this is basically what I created with Repurpose. It's all there. And so what we've just looked at then is, how to get it from Facebook Live to IGTV, okay? And Twitter's pretty much the same as what we do with LinkedIn. I'm just going to go back to Repurpose quickly and see, okay, it's there. So I'm going to show it to you. Stop there. Let's go back to Repurpose. Here we are. So you can see here's a sneak peek, right? And then it's taken the timestamps that I created in the description. It's split it out into 5 different videos. And then I can click on edit. So if you, for whatever reason, you might want to, change the timing of the video that you want to put out. So instead of it being, 3 minutes, a 3-minute duration, you can change that here. You can edit it and tell it to do 2 minutes or 1 minute or whatever you may want it to be. You can also change the start and finish time as well, and then you can play the snippet. So it will actually just play the timing of the snippet, right? So then I can click update. That's good to go. And when I'm ready, I just hit publish. And then it will take. Usually it happens within a couple of minutes. It will then send that thing into LinkedIn, and I showed you what it looks like on LinkedIn already. So that is the power of Repurpose. I'm going to come back to wrap up the presentation here. And where are we? Share screen. And come back to here. All right. So I hope that you found that really cool. I definitely think it's changed the way I do content. It's just, this system is just really powerful. No challenges with consistency or anything like that, because it's just really getting into making the system work for you. Now, what you saw also is I showed you the 18 different pieces of content you can create, but there's actually one more. Okay, so if you have a podcast, or if you want to have a podcast, you can take your Facebook Live and you can send it to Dropbox. The full instead of sending a video, you send the full audio from the Facebook Live. Okay, so you send the audio, and then you can then take that audio and upload it to your podcast platform. Right, I'm using Anchor.fm. And so now you have the Facebook Live has been turned into an audio podcast. Okay, and that way, for those, if your audience likes listening to podcasts, or you already have an existing podcast, then this is a really nice way to do it. Okay, so that's a bonus tip for you, and method number 19, really. Okay, so again, one video, just a recap. We took one Facebook Live. We then we added the Facebook Live, put the video into a post or an article on my WordPress site. I also shared it to YouTube. I didn't show you the YouTube channel, but from inside of Repurpose, you can send it to YouTube. You can then send it. We did the LinkedIn demo here. We split it into 5 different segments, and we can schedule those out to go on individual days and times. Do the same thing with Twitter, and we can also do that with IGTV, right? So we send it to Dropbox, then we download it to a hard drive. We then schedule using Creator Studio. We schedule the videos to go out 1 per day on IGTV. That is 18 pieces of content, 19 if you include sending it to a podcast, audio podcast, and that's the power of Repurpose. So you can get a free trial of Repurpose today. There's no credit card required. There's no software to install. It all runs through the website tool. The link is there, simplecreativemarketing.com/repurpose tool, and definitely go and have a play with that. It's super powerful, right? And here's just a recap what you can do in case you missed any of this or you came in late. The tool Repurpose automatically converts audios into videos, so they are easily consumed on social media. So you can start with an audio. We started with a Facebook Live today, but you can also, if you are doing an audio podcast or you're recording audio, through Zoom or whatever way you want to do it, you can take an audio file and turn it into videos as well, right? That's another way. That's actually how you turn it into 25 pieces of content, but we're not going to go there just now. You can transform regular videos into captioned videos with eye-catching headlines, so your videos get noticed in the social media feeds. I just showed you how that works. We can create horizontal, vertical, or square templates, so your videos look perfect on each social media platform. Showed you how to do that. We can convert live streams and videos into audio podcasts, so you can reach a new audience that loves to consume on the go. Gave you a sneak preview of how that works. And you can schedule videos to be natively uploaded to each multiple social media platforms, so you don't have to do it yourself every day. And that's the nice thing about scheduling all of this, right? So it literally takes me from let's say 30 minutes to record the Facebook Live, and then to do the repurpose flow, probably somewhere between half an hour to an hour to do it all. And then I literally have it going out all over the place. And this is a way to build my audience, people coming through, watching the videos, clicking through, coming back to my website. It's just been magic, right? So this is as you can see, it's a huge time saver, and it's really affordable as well. And you can start with a free trial. Okay, so just go over to simplecreativemarketing.com/repurpose tool. Go grab that. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, on my Facebook page or on my blog. I'm happy to respond to you. So just recapping what we did today, we talked through the common challenges with social media marketing, specifically video. I showed you how to turn one video into 18 pieces of content. Then I showed you the magic tool that can do this for you and where you can get a free trial. All right. So if you're still watching and you're watching a replay or you're live here on Facebook Live, let me know in the comments what was most valuable to you today. I would love to hear from you. I want to give a shout out to everyone that joined live. Vu Nguyen, you're a legend. And everyone else who's watching in the replay, would love to hear from you. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up here. And again, simplecreativemarketing.com/repurpose tool. Go away, grab that trial, have a play with it, and let me know. Show me your content that you create from Repurpose. That would be really magic. Just tag me in at Anthony C, and I can have a look at that and give you some feedback as well. Thanks for your time, and I will see you on the next Facebook Live coming real soon. Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up right now.